All right, guys, we are live, and we just witnessed a hostile takeover by the officials tonight against the Detroit Lions. The reason is a crazy BS hands to the face call on Trey Flowers tonight. Chris, how are you doing? Yeah, it just pissed me off, man, because I wanted Stafford to get an opportunity. The reason why the referees did this was because Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs is making more money than Aaron Rodgers is making more money in the playoffs than Matt Stafford and a small market team. That was the only call possible that could have ended the football game, and the refs ended the game with that call. And unless the Lions went and picked up Aaron Jones and took him into the, it would have been ridiculous. Sons of Scotland, how are you? Goat, how you doing? MH. And Oscar, how are you? I hate it so much. The Lions, I wanted new blood in the NFC North. The Lions are playing really good football and they're not getting rewarded. They go off and they lose to Arizona, completely their own doing. They had a game against Kansas City to win and they're choking, and they have a really good defense. They have a good secondary. Now their pass rush, they definitely need an elite level pressure because Trey Flowers is not getting it done, because they have to be able to rush four guys, and it was terrible. And also on that final drive, they were giving up easy completions, but Patricia utilized his timeouts. The Lions were able to get that stop, and Stafford had that opportunity to go kick that game winner, and the guy wasn't even close to touching the face mask. The referee called two BS calls on the same player. And you know what ended up happening is that the referees, this is the conspiracy, the referees wanted the Packers to win because they needed to end the damn football game. That's exactly what happened, because they can't have the Lions possibly catch the mighty Green Bay Packers, because the Packers have the largest fan base, one of the largest fan bases in the NFL. So playoff ratings for Green Bay are going to be so high. And Aaron Rodgers is the most marketable player in the NFL, or one of the most marketable players at any position. He's a superstar. So the league clearly was encouraged by the refs were encouraged by the league to kind of let the Packers win this game, or kind of, if it was close, to favor the Green Bay Packers. And they didn't allow Stafford, who is actually good, in the fourth quarter. They didn't allow him an opportunity, or Matt Prater, to come back and have a rebuttal to that field goal. That was the one penalty that could not happen. It was the one penalty that could not happen. And of course, the Lions got that penalty. I was screaming. I was furious because I wanted to see a great finish. And the Lions are an underdog team. The Packers always win in this division, or the Bears sometimes, but usually it's always the Packers. And Aaron Rodgers, I mean, Lions fans always get screwed. So for Detroit, it's awful. And the ref should not dictate the end of a game. You shouldn't be the deciding factor in a game, because last year you had, the call with the Saints that cost the Saints the game. You had a call, a roughing the passer on Tom Brady, that costed Tom Brady, that costed the Kansas City Chiefs a game. So the referees are clearly interjecting and rigging these games. They're not letting the games play out naturally. That's a call that's a very fringe call anyway. It's not like a blatant pass interference or like a personal foul. That is a fringe call. Even in the second quarter, to be calling a hands to the face is a complete obscure call. And you're calling that at the most critical juncture of the football game, when the guy was literally grabbing the middle of his chest. It wasn't even close to his face. And the offensive player instigated that contact. So you completely just took over the game and didn't allow the Lions to have any opportunity. It's shameful. It's shameful that these referees were rigging the game like that. It's completely shameful to see this happen in the NFL. This is the one call that really cost the Lions a possibility at winning, because, again, they would have gotten the ball back with 1:20 left to go down the field. So disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And the NFL doing it for ratings. Once again, the LA thing last year. I don't know why the ref would call that unless he bet on the Packers, because it's such an obscure call. It's so frustrating. Anybody with common sense knows not to call that kind of ticky tacky. And it was just a bad call. It was terrible. But Detroit, they don't know how to win any games anyway. Stafford in the first half with that delay game, stupid call, having 12 guys in the field, allowing the Packers to get a touchdown when the Packers would have kicked a field goal, Hawkinson's drop, all that stuff adds up. When you're on the road, all those dumb mistakes, they all add up to that kind of stuff. So it's listen, it's Detroit. They're going to have the same old conversation. We're good. I love the team. I love their effort. And we don't know how to win yet. We don't know how to put it together for 60 minutes. The same old Detroit excuse. But I'll tell you, Patricia's the damn guy. Patricia is the guy. So congrats to the 49ers, Steezy. And yes, Uncle Lou, it is. It is. Thank you for watching my stream. I tried to call you today. Your video was spot on. And if you guys win out, you're going to be in the playoff anyway. Ohio State lost to Virginia Tech, and what's it called? Florida lost to Ole Miss, kind of similar stuff. So, but yeah, I think that obviously the passing game, is not where it needs to be. Hawkinson's a hell of a player, though. Hawkinson's a hell of a player. This game was just brutal to watch. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I don't really like the Packers that much. Well, I was certainly rooting for the Lions, but you never want to see a call come down to that, guys. You really do not. So I appreciate everybody coming in. All right, I'll answer a couple questions here. Let's do like maybe 5 more minutes here. And the thing is, Lou, about this mic, it's hard. It's definitely hard to get your face in a good picture. I don't know, man. I'll tell you, the offensive line does suck, though. That's really funny, Justin, Yankee King. Vegas runs the NFL. Yeah, it probably does. But that's so blatant. That's disgusting, because we were deprived of something so special, of seeing Matt Stafford have an opportunity at Lambeau, and the refs just clearly decided the damn game. And it was such a close game. And to have that happen, I really do think it's because of the markets of Aaron Rodgers and the Packer brand compared to a Detroit. And now it's 2-2 versus 5-1. The Lions season losing to Arizona. In this division, it's razor thin. Games are razor thin in the NFC North. And now the Packers are undefeated in their division. And the line is so razor thin in the NFC North. Like, those games are pivotal. And now the Lions are going to be very discouraged. They're going to play a Vikings team next week that's a really good team too. Maybe this loss will either be very depressing for the Lions, and maybe they'll practice like dog crap, or maybe the Vikings will end up beating them. I don't know. That's a really good question. That's an interesting point, that Nate Solder can go to the Browns. I think the 49ers now can go 14-2. I think that the toughest game for the 49ers is going to be maybe the Panther game, because the Panthers have a bye week. If the 49ers take care of Washington, they're going to be feeling really good. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be facing Gerald McCoy, Vernon Butler, that defense. That's going to be a really hard game. The Panthers are actually my pick now to win the NFC South, because their defensive line, James Bradbury, they're playing amazing football. Amazing football. Sean, are you a Browns fan with that comment? Seattle. Whew. I mean, the Seahawks, I don't think the Seattle Seahawks, I'm sorry if I offend anybody like Brandon Rodgers, or I'm not sorry, it's just an opinion. The Seattle Seahawks are not very good at all. Their talent is terrible. Even the Browns were up 20-6 on those guys yesterday, and the Browns let them off the hook. Uncle Lou, you're offended? Are you going to be offended when, again, PJ Fleck and the Gophers? Because I'm not talking too loudly. I haven't even texted you about the Gophers, but come Penn State Day, you will see, you will see the power of Minnesota football come Penn State Day. That is when the Golden Gophers will rise. I heard that movie was actually bad, The Joker. I heard it didn't have a great plot. I mean, they're a different team, Lou, than the one that played Fresno State. I'm gonna go watch some film. Who do you guys want me to watch? Jimmy Garoppolo? Oh, UCF Jaguar, how are you? I guess we're all just hanging out. I'm trying to come up with some topics now. I kind of already went in detail a little bit about just the disappointment now. I guess I'm a Lion fan. Well, I'm not a Lion fan, but it's crazy. Andy Garcia. Thank you for coming into the chat, man. How are you? I think Garoppolo is very, very good. If he wins, he's going to be very good, great. I'd say he's like right outside of elite. Like I'd put him like maybe the eighth best quarterback. Like Deshaun Watson is maybe having more skill than Garoppolo this year. But come on, Jimmy's still an awesome quarterback. You're still going to win Super Bowls with him. Great question about the Dallas Cowboys. I really think that Chris Richard should get a hold of this team. I think that they're quitting. I think their O-line's actually overrated. They're not producing. Their play calling's not aggressive. They simply need to be more aggressive on first down with play action fakes. Play action fakes. I think that Minshew will too. I mean, that Saints defense is just absolutely awesome. Dennis Allen's a freaking stud, and that Jacksonville game must have been rough yesterday for Minshew. But again, they have a great opportunity to play the Bengals, but it's a classic trap game because Cincinnati needs that game to not go undefeated. The Jaguars traveling up to Cincinnati, they're going to practice terribly. That I think that they might lose that game. I really do, because the Jags have no motivation, and the Cincinnati, is going to have some motivation. The Jags can easily choke that game away. I wouldn't bet on that game at all. I think Cincy could win outright. Thank you, Sean. I really appreciate it. I think that it's possible, man. It's Aaron Rodgers is the love child of the NFL. He really is. It's Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. And I really wanted that thing to happen. Jabari, how are you doing? I think that I'm sorry, I can't look straight on because I have to talk. But I think that and my voice is it's not even that good of a voice tonight, or really ever, but Jalen Hurd, the offense is good enough anyway. It's a running football team, relies on defense. You got to give credit to the Rams pass rush. I mean, they were getting after Jimmy. Jimmy was getting rid of the ball quickly. Kittle is an outlet. Having him back will be very nice. Sure. Listen, the Niners, you got to be happy. Wins are wins. People will say, I want the offense to do better. Wins are wins. Oh, Campbell, they are. Unfortunately, my friend, they are the Tennessee Titans. Mariota has got no confidence. Bringing in Tannehill was an awful. It's just horrible. Mariota can't get rid of the ball. That offensive line, the scheme is terrible. Mike Vrabel is in over his head. You should have. You know what you should have done? You should have. You should have kept Matt LaFleur if you can have revisionist history. Absolutely, the Lions got screwed, gamer. The Lions just can never come through. And I'm not a Lions fan, but I was really pulling for them in that spot to get the job done. It would have been a huge win for their season. They would have been what? 3-1-1. I mean, that's the game that you got to have if you're going to make a playoff push. In the NFC, we have the Eagles and the Cowboys, so maybe the Lions can get in over that. Seattle is going to have a good record at the end of the year, but they can choke. They could choke the Seattle Seahawks. Then we have, who else do we have? You have the Vikings in the North, so this will be a big game coming up. The South. Oh, Panthers and Saints. So the Panthers is one. Seattle, Eagles, Cowboys. I'm gonna say 3. Maybe 4. I think Joe Burrow will do well. Burrow, Eason, Herbert, and Tua. But really, Herbert and Tua are so much better. Burrow, I'm very concerned about his pocket. He doesn't have any pocket mobility, and Jacob Eason is never going to win big games, so he's always going to be pretty mediocre in the NFL. He's gonna have a lot of skill, but I don't think that Eason is going to ever be that elite. Mentally, he just doesn't win games. There's a reason Jacob Eason left Georgia, and it's because Georgia wanted a quarterback who wouldn't make dumb interceptions. Jacob Eason is up and down, very inconsistent performer. Yeah, the Jets played really well. I'll give Sam a lot of credit. And, that Jets team is going to be pumped up to play Brady. That's going to be a low scoring game on Monday Night Football next week. It's going to be a bloodbath in terms of a low scoring game. I think the Jets defense will play amazing in front of the home crowd. Darnold, though, I don't know if they could score enough points. So, guys, it was a lot of fun. Maybe I'll even flip on a little film review. Ventura, thank you for coming into the stream, man. I appreciate it. Gonna wrap this up. Needed to give my thoughts on the game and my thoughts on the conspiracy, maybe, of the ref. So, thank you, guys. Thank you. And great. The ref gives a $2 donation. I really do appreciate it. The Buffalo Bills, 1,000%. And UCF, that's a great comment as well. But the Bills, 1,000% are for real. They're at least wild card good. Their defense is amazing. They're going to kill the Dolphins when they come out. I hope that they can compete with the Patriots. Their offense hasn't been coming along. Their offense is very good, yes, but they're going to need to even take a step up, and Singletary's going to have to play, and they're going to have to run the ball. But this Bills team, at least 11 wins. I just hope that they can catch the Patriots in the division. They're going to have to go there and get a win. It sucked that Josh Allen didn't play, and I don't want the Bills to be like this great wild card team that's going to have to play like a Baltimore or a Pittsburgh. I actually think it could be Pittsburgh, Buffalo. I think that the Steelers are winning the NFC North, guys. Put that down in stone. The Pittsburgh Steelers are winning the AFC North, period. The Pittsburgh Steelers are winning the AFC North with Ducky Hodges or with Mason Rudolph. You look at that Steelers schedule, they don't play the Ravens till the last week of the season, and the Steelers will probably be hosting Buffalo in the playoffs. How about that? Absolutely over the Ravens, yes. Steelers for sure. The Ravens are not that impressive, okay? They're not. Their defense isn't great. And they're not impressive. Ryan Clark, I'm not sure about that. I got to watch that. All righty, guys. Thanks. I'll try to do some more videos, guys. You were the best. You guys are the best. Thanks, guys, again.